Hey, everybody, welcome to Discovering Greatness. We're here to talk about the great discovery. I'm with Alex, my co host, and we have a very, very special guest. Dr. Stan Harris, aka Dr. Breakthrough, is here joining us in the studio. Hey, everybody, welcome. It's so great to have everybody here today. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. Super excited to have Dr. Breakthrough on. How you doing, Dr. Breakthrough?
Can I tell y'all the truth?
Absolutely. Of course. That's all you do.
I'm too blessed to be depressed. If I ever got depressed, I'm too blessed to stay depressed. I'm too glad to be sad, too anointed to be disappointed. I'm too elated to be agitated. I'm too legit to quit, too grounded to be confounded, too grateful to be hateful, too gifted to be restricted, too good to be withstood, and too saved not to be getting paid as part of my daily attitude adjuster. They'll be able to get free.
Wow.
Well, like you mentioned, he has what's called a daily attitude adjuster. If you're not familiar with Dr. Breakthrough, he's an amazing speaker, 10th degree black belt, world heavyweight champion. You can see some of the awards behind him. He's a pastor, is that right? And an amazing educator. He has a 21-day breakthrough challenge, which I'm currently in the middle of. That's amazing. On day 3 of the 21-day breakthrough challenge, I'm like watching this video over and over. It's my daily attitude adjuster. And he has this course on something called the Great Discovery. So I'm going to define that, and then we're going to pass it over to Dr. Harris to tell us more about all the courses that he has in the Great Discovery. But essentially, the Great Discovery is a new course hosting platform for content creators, speakers, authors, people with a message. And the purpose of it is to really provide the best online education platform on the planet. And it's actually developed by a very, very amazing company called Six Sigma. So if you're not familiar with Six Sigma has been around for 40 years. It's used by all Fortune 100 or 82% of Fortune 100 companies, the U.S. military, the Navy SEALs. It's one of the most credible, one of the most used business management platforms on the planet. And they just released a platform for all of us called the Great Discovery, where we can host our courses and we can host our online education. And so Dr. Breakthrough has many, many courses in there. And we wanted to give him an opportunity to come on today to our podcast to talk about those. So Dr. Breakthrough, gave you a little setup there. I'd be really curious to hear, Dr. Breakthrough, your background a little bit more, how you've come to be, Dr. Breakthrough or Dr. Stan, can you tell us a little bit about that story? Because you're a really, really interesting guy, have an amazing background, and I don't know if I've ever heard kind of the full story or the background on it.
Well, first of all, again, it's a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure to be with you and Bree. Thank you so much for the value that you bring to your guests and also to those who are listening. And so, folks, I hope you're listening. Tune in every day, every time, because Bree and Alex will bring you value. I got to give a disclaimer. As Dr. Breakthrough, I can't provide a breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. However, when folks follow the breakthrough prescription and practice it, God Almighty provides the breakthrough they desire and deserve, and the breakthrough is exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. Matter of fact, somebody's going to have a bumblebee breakthrough before we're done. Instead of what's a bumblebee breakthrough? I'm glad you're asking. So aerodynamically, it's impossible for the bumblebee to fly. His wings are too short in proportion to his body. But because the bumblebee either doesn't know it or doesn't believe it, the bumblebee flies anyway. And that's my background. All the stuff I was told, you can never be this, you'll never amount to be this, and all the abuse, my friend. But I decided, instead of being a product of my environment outside, to be a product of the environment of my mind on the inside, and actually to be a product of my empowerment. And so at 3 years of age, my dad left, never called, never sent mom a dime. At 6 years of age, I was out in the middle of the field playing, and a gang of teenagers came my way. Now, you know how your body can give you signals. And literally, I was scared, but I was so afraid. Instead of running, I was paralyzed by my fear when I should have been propelled by my fear. Perhaps I could have gotten away. But I'm a 6-year-old boy. These are a gang of teenagers. And one guy hits me in the stomach and knocks the air out of me. So, you're trying to breathe. You can't breathe. And they start punching. I'm 6 years old. I'm crying out for help. Mommy, help. Somebody. They're beating me up. And one guy picks me up and slams me down on the ground. And then they start stomping on me and start kicking on me like I'm an ant or a roach. And literally, again, I'm screaming. I'm crying. I'm 6 years of age. It would take one teenager, not a whole gang. I'm bleeding from everywhere you can bleed. And finally, they flipped me over on my back where I'm face up, and they took a great big old bucket of tar and they poured it on my face and my body. They took a bunch of feathers, threw them on me, and literally left me out in the middle of a field to die as a 6-year-old boy. I thank God somebody found me, rushed me to the hospital, got me taken care of. But I went through sexual abuse, physical abuse. I mean, one of my mom's boyfriends beat me with a steel choker chain for a dog, a fiberglass bow and arrow set. I mean, every kind of abuse you can imagine, to the point where by the time I was 12 years of age, I had already attempted suicide on 2 occasions, and I'm so glad I failed.
Wow. Well, we are too. And you have an amazing ability to pull people out of, I connected him with somebody recently. She just said, Alex, I just want to give up. I'm just not here anymore. I just don't want to do it anymore. I said, you got to call Dr. Breakthrough right away. And I mean, instantly. And even the first time I saw Dr. Breakthrough, he has this ability to help people in a really, really impactful way, take them out of the dark place that they're in and show them a better, a different way. And I think that, comes from your story, right? And that's awful to hear. But I don't know where did that's a really, really hard place to come from. And now you're completely transformed. You've broken through. Breakthroughs are a way of life. So when did those breakthroughs start, and what was the aha or the epiphany or the thing that kind of put this ball in motion?
Well, actually, I had, I like to call it a Popeye moment. It was a Popeye moment. Yeah. Remember Popeye, he said, I stands all I can stands and I can't stands no more. Right. I mean, being physically and verbally and sexually abused and racially abused and financially abused. You know what I mean? And so you get to a place, and here's one of the things that I teach in my 21-day breakthrough challenge, that pain and adversity causes some men and women to break, but it causes others to break records. And the good news is that if you're broken down, that's a great foundation for a breakthrough. See, I needed more breakthroughs than anybody else I needed. And so what I'm telling people is this, is people think almost like success and failure, like, well, success is the polar opposite of failure. No, success is one of the vital components of lasting. I mean, failure is one of the lasting components of lasting success. That's one of the greatest components. And the scripture says, unless a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it can bring forth much fruit. So I teach people, listen, if you're broken down, I mean, I don't mean to be like happy for you, but I'm happy because that's not where your story has to end. It's like what is the slogan? They buried us, but they forgot. They didn't realize we were a seed. And then harvest time, guess what? We came up bigger, better. And so I teach people the breakthrough is to be able to bounce back even better than you were before. And when I was speaking with a guy named Willie Jolly at Howard University, 25 years ago. And so I was speaking first. And so he said, Doc, you're going to get them all fired up and everything for me. He said, by the way, branding's everything. He said, no, Dr. Stan Harris, I know you got a Doctor of Divinity and PhD in martial arts, and I think you're working on a Doctor of Naturopath or something. He said, but branding's everything. He said, you remind me of like a person that goes to the doctor and the doctor writes a prescription. He said, the way you break down breakthrough, the way you explain it, he said, when you write things on boards and bricks like fear and procrastination and doubt, you break those things. And then you teach people from the audience who have never broken something how to do it in just a matter of, he said, you're like a doctor, so you should be called Dr. Breakthrough. You have the prescription for a breakthrough. And I said, man, I don't know if that's true, but I promise you one thing, I will live the rest of my life to prove that it is true. Now, what he didn't know was that at that time, Alex, I was homeless. I was phoneless. I was carless, right? So I don't know if those are words, but I made it up. But without a home, now thank God somebody had a little trailer and let me stay in it. But I was without a home, without a car, without a phone. Now, phones are a whole lot more important these days, right? But back then, having the cell phone was still pretty good. Well, guess what? And so I was at the lowest point. And basically, somebody let me borrow their car. I said, look, if I can get to the speaking engagements, I'm going to get paid and I'll be able to sell some of my books and stuff. But, I put all of my eggs in one basket and that basket crashed and I lost everything. And so that's why now I have multiple streams of income. But I'm saying this, though. But here I was, Dr. Stan Harris, this guy traveling all of a sudden now, broken, dropped, everything, done, gone. But I would walk around and I started. And so when he said that, I could have rejected it and said, no, you don't know my situation. He didn't need to know my situation. I knew that was God speaking to me through him to empower me, to encourage me. Like Gideon, this man that was hiding, scared to death. And God sends an angel to appear to him and says, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon's like, me? I'm a coward. No, you're a coward now. But if you submit to what I have for you, you're going to be a mighty man of valor. Because watch this now. Your great discovery is you're not a coward. It's really you're a champion on the inside, and we're going to help pull that out. And I realized at that time, and so I started walking around saying, I'm a rich man that happens to be low on cash, but God and we are changing that fast. And 6 months later, by the way, the next week, a guy, I was able, this little trailer, they put a little phone in there for me to use. And I called this guy. I said, man, I've been trying to get a hold of you for months. I don't know what happened to your phone. He said, but I got this company that wants you to speak. I said, I'll take it. He said, but I didn't tell you the arrangements. I said, don't worry, I'll take it. Tell them wherever they want to fly me. I'm ready. Let's go. Make a long story short, they flew me, put me on this tour. And the guy said, look, it's a network marketing company. I hope you don't mind. I put a spot in for you. If when you're speaking, somebody that comes to hear you and they're interested, I'll put them in the deal. Well, then those checks started getting almost pretty good, as big as almost my speaking check. And I said to the guy, Dave, hey, show me the comp plan. Maybe I need to work this thing a little bit. And literally 5.5 months later, without exaggeration, I was there. I wouldn't believe you if you told the story. I was there. I experienced it. 5.5 months later, I'm making, listen now, went from 0 to 22,800 something folks. And I'm now making $25,000 per week, which was $100,000 per month. And I wasn't homeless anymore. I wasn't carless. I wasn't phoneless. So I'm just saying that to say, I teach people every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. And because I was a mess, see, I was a nobody that God and I turned into a somebody. And I'm committed to now telling everybody he could do the same, if not more, for anybody. And so that's my story. And the most pivotal thing happened when I was 15, when some folks knocked on my door and showed me from the gospel, the Bible, that wow, God loved me, sent the son that died, was buried, and rose again, and that I could repent and receive him. He would come and change my life forever. That, my friend, was a really, outside of the Popeye moment, but that was the changing thing that started changing me from the inside. And now I'm committed to telling the whole world. I'm a debtor, and man, I just love people, and I love to see what's in them. And so the great discovery for me was a great fit. I call it the great breakthrough.
Amazing. Like you say, when I heard you, you're like, I'm carless, I'm homeless, I'm phoneless. You felt like less, you had less, but you turned that and made a breakthrough and made it more. And that's just like, that's amazing, because that's so inspirational. And you give that opportunity in your classes, in the courses that everyone in the world can have access to through the Great Discovery, and get, whether it's a free course on, those daily attitudes, right? That daily breakthrough. We need those in our lives. To Alex, and you're taking the 21-day breakthrough course.
Yep.
Tell me what that's been like. What have you experienced with that?
Well, ever since I got connected to Dr. Breakthrough, there have been breakthroughs. And one of the things that he suggested is, Alex, you need to be breaking through every day. Right? Breakthroughs are a way of life. You can have, it doesn't have to be an exception it could be literally every single day. Right. And so that's what I'm getting from his 21-day breakthrough challenge, because you can't just hear it once. You got to hear it again. You got to hear it daily, and you got to have these affirmations daily, and you got to have these tips and this knowledge daily. So you start to embody it. And if you think Dr. Breakthrough is an amazing speaker here, you got to see him in person. I mean, his in-person things, you don't even understand what he does. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but he's an amazing in-person speaker as well as online speaker. So Dr. Breakthrough, we got the 21-day breakthrough challenge up here on the Great Discovery. So this is really why the Great Discovery is so amazing, guys, is Dr. Breakthrough can have his course up on here. He can have all of his courses. He can share all of his knowledge. He can sell through the Great Discovery, but so can Bree and I. And so we have courses right alongside Dr. Breakthrough, and you could have courses right alongside Dr. Breakthrough's courses, and actually get paid to refer his courses, which is really, really amazing. But Dr. Breakthrough, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but tell us a little bit more about the 21-day breakthrough challenge.
Well, first of all, just so you know, I got to throw this in. My wife, I call her my ABCD, my adorable brown caramel delight. We are actually now doing a 21-day breakthrough love challenge that's going to really help couples, right? But the 21-day breakthrough challenge, people kept, like, I would speak places, and they would hear my story, and they're like, wait a minute, how did you get from there to like being a 10th degree black belt, from, being voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame, the Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame? As a matter of fact, I've been blessed to be paid as much as $1,000 a minute. Now, don't worry, y'all get the 5-figure discount today. It's free, right? But But it's like, but how did you go from being an evangelist now and speaking and preaching in all 50 states and 28 countries and I mean they were like, I mean how? And so I had to sit down. It was it was hard to figure out what was the main things. And again, somebody asked me this. They said, could you take me by the hand and walk me into the breakthrough promised land? I was like, wow, okay. So I had to go back and say, what is the main things that changed my life? And so I boiled it down to 21 of the main principles or tips. Write this down, by the way, TIPS. I call this a Dr. Breakthroughsm, AKA writer downer. Tips to ensure prompt success. I don't know about you. I want my success quick. I want to take the long way. I want to go the fast way, right? And so anyway, these are the 21 main tips, main things that changed my life. And then Les Brown and I were speaking in the UK, and he made a statement that really shocked me. He said, the greatest speakers are those who can take the fewest words and make them go the farthest. So I was like, oh, okay, now I got these. It took me a long time to put these boil down to 21 things. But now I need to boil that down. So I boiled it down to 3 to 5 minutes each. I mean, it was an arduous task, but I did it, right? And so then my thing was, and I just, felt impressed in my spirit. I mean, I didn't hear audible voice from God, but I felt impressed in my spirit that I was supposed to empower 1 million or more people to experience one or more breakthroughs in 21 days or less. And so we called it the 21-day breakthrough challenge, which, by the way, is spiritually and scientifically proven. Basically, you're guaranteed to get one or more breakthroughs in 21 days or less. Many people get a breakthrough on the second day or the third day or the fourth day. A lot of people like the fourth day. As a matter of fact, can I just give you a little sneak peek of the fourth day, what they're going to get?
Of course.
And it's something that have you memorize and then personalize, and then you say this to yourself. And this is what I did back when I should have been called Dr. Breakdown. And Willie Jolly's talking about you should be Dr. Breakthrough. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever told him that story, right? But he said you should be Dr. Breakthrough, right? So anyway, so here's the thing, my friend. So once I make up my mind to do something, God will orchestrate circumstances to align themselves in my favor. When I say I can't, my mind stops trying. But when I ask, how can I? My mind keeps searching till it finds a way. There's a way, and I will find it. And if not, I will invent it. That attitude, that mentality, that statement, and I have people personalize it, that has helped people make more money than anything else I teach. Matter of fact, I teach people how to, the short door, to go through this door of success, right? Well, when you have this philosophy, you'll create a door, break through a door, whatever. You'll make it happen, right? You don't even have to have, like, Alex, you make stuff so simple and step by step. But when they have that philosophy, my friend, it automatically, like, things appear. And so that's just part of it. But here's the deal. So many people took my 21-day breakthrough challenge. They said, oh, man, I got some Spanish friends and they want to take it, but they don't speak anything but, Hispanic. Can you please? I was like, okay, it was going to cost $2,000, but it was going to be somebody else's face and voice. And so finally, guess what? I was like, I don't think that guy's my energy will transfer. I don't think I need to do, the 2,000 wasn't a big thing. But it was like, just don't, And lo and behold, I got a call from Ali Madawi, the executive vice president. Doc, I got the perfect thing for you. We need you here. It's called The Great Discovery. As soon as he said it, I was like, wow, what are y'all doing? He said, we're going to take your course. That 21-day breakthrough challenge he said that I took that helped change my life? We're going to translate it, not just in one language, but up to 100. I said, wait a minute, you got Spanish? He said, oh, yeah. I said, okay, I'm in, right? So now it's my face, my voice, my energy, translated, but it didn't cost me $2,000. And now, like you said, people can be an affiliate. They can promote my course that I put all this into, and they get paid, and I get paid, and the company get paid. Again, my ABCD, we say if it's not win, 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 we're not in. But whenever it's win, 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 we're all the way in. So, Alex, we're all the way in.
Yeah. I'm all the way in too. This is the most amazing opportunity I've ever seen in my life. To be able to, one, to collaborate with people like you, to collaborate with so many other people in the company. But then also for ourselves to get our message out there on a global scale, to translate our voice and our course and our whatever message that we have to share with the entire world, right? And it's something that you have to see to believe. This kind of voice translation software, it's brand new. With AI, they've actually been able to translate your voice into over 100 different languages. And like Dr. Breakthrough said, it sounds just like you. It's your same energy. It's your same voice. It's your same vibe. It's you, but in over 100 different languages. So we'll demo and show that later. We only have about 5 minutes left here with Dr. Breakthrough, so we want to be very, efficient with our last couple of minutes here. Go ahead, Dr. Breakthrough.
Can I tell you a sad story that'll end up being powerful?
Sure,
Brief.
of course.
A good friend of mine passed away, a gentleman I was able to, by the way, when I was broken down and I got that breakthrough, he got started me in business and he made his first $1 million. And anyway, went on to do some great things. And his name is Pastor Kenny Smith. They call him Coach 100K. He had committed his life to empowering people to live the six-figure and above lifestyle based on the biblical principles. Well, unfortunately, I got a call from his son a week ago, and he said, man, Dr. Breakthrough, I hate to tell you this, but Dad passed away. And so we want you to come and speak at the homegoing, which, by the way, is going to be tomorrow. And I was like, man, and all of a sudden, something came to me, and I said, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to pay to put him in what's called the Great Discovery. And I know y'all have recordings, and I'm going to take some of these recordings, and we're going to translate them in different languages. And I said in his message, he's dead, but the scripture says he being dead yet speaketh. And we're going to have affiliates also be able to sell some of his courses in up to 200 countries. And he started crying. He said, I got goosebumps. I said, well, I don't believe in goosebumps. I call them God bumps. But why? What do you mean? He said, well, 1 week before my dad passed away, he called me and my brother together and said, look, I haven't been able to fulfill what I wanted to fulfill. I'm depending on you two to help carry my legacy, to help continue my message. And they were like my dad is so special, and he called it Shark Nation. He always saying shark. And he would teach people how to do business like a shark, right? And they said, nobody's quite like my dad. It's like, and said, we're thinking, how could we do that? And now you're telling me a way where now we're going to be able to carry on my dad's legacy, and it could be his voice, his face, speaking different languages. He's like, man, thank you, Dr. Breakthrough. I said, oh, and by the way, the money that comes into that goes to the family, and then you'll have generation after generation after generation. And they said, wow. So I just got the demo reel of him, a video of him speaking all these different languages. I just sent it to the family. They were broken. So we're going to show that tomorrow at the homegoing ceremony, as well as a little video from Tim Taylor saying, hey, we at the Great Discovery, we're sorry for your loss, but we're going to be able to help you carry his message on. And so I am telling you, anybody out there, like I believe every grandmother need to be part of this platform. Put your messages you want to teach for future generations, and let us be able to hear you out of your own words, your own lips, and people in different languages. So anyway, it's a little longer than I expected, but man.
Powerful. We need to hear that. That's incredible. Like truly is a legacy. That's a legacy where we're not forgotten, where our words, that our work, our life's work can live on and can reach and touch so many lives that need to hear that message. So doing that, just beautiful. What a special thing for the family. Yeah. Their grandchildren will be able to hear this. It's something they'll be able to share on and on and on. I cannot thank you enough for being on the show today and sharing all of your stories and your wisdom and all of the breakthroughs that I know so many people are going to be wanting to have because of you.
Well, one of the things I teach is I call it mental self-defense, which is learning how to defend yourself against your greatest opponent, which is your undisciplined or subconscious mind. And I'm going to show you how to take your worst energy and enemy and turn it into your greatest ally. And we do that through that 21-day breakthrough challenge. You heard of MMA. Well, most people think it's mixed martial arts, but for me, it's mental martial arts. And that's one of the most powerful things, because the mindset will help or hinder your skill set and empower you to leverage tool sets. Come on now.
There we go.
Well, Dr. Breakthrough, thank you. If you guys want to get one of Dr. Breakthrough's free courses or download the 21-day breakthrough challenge, we're going to put all the links below this podcast, below this video. So please go and check that out. Dr. Breakthrough, thank you so much again. We're literally right at time, so I want to let you go and get back to your busy day. Good luck at the ceremony this weekend. That's really amazing that you're doing that, and we're looking forward to seeing that video too. So you'll have to come back on soon. You're invited back. This is your stage, Dr. Breakthrough. Anytime you want, you come back, and if you have a message to share with everybody, we're happy to help you share it. So thank you.
Hey, well, thank you for what you two are doing. And if you're out there, I am here to tell you, you are a masterpiece, because you're a piece of the master. You're a product of the master, and you're the priority of the master. You are looking at a former mess that I thought that's all I was going to ever be. but God had other plans, and he uses people like Alex and like Bree to help bring out of you. And the great discovery is going to reach down and help you discover your greatness. Don't take it lightly. Get started today. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Breakthrough. All right, we'll let you go. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, so much to talk about with that. That was incredible. I'm going to switch our screens around just a little bit so we can be a little bit more centered. He is just, I don't think I've heard that whole story before. Unbelievable. And because he is really like, I get messages from him that just pump me up. They're like, he's the guy that you want in your corner that's pushing you forward and getting things moving. I'm ready to jump into the 21-day breakthrough challenge myself. I need to do that now because I need the breakthroughs. I need the, because I think we do feel like things aren't going great and we have less. We may not be carless or homeless, but we feel pretty close to that. I think many Americans feel pretty close to that. And imagine, just having because it's all mental. It's something that you need to work through, learn from, grow with, and have those breakthroughs. So, and it's amazing that it can be in every language in the world, that if people want to take that class, they can grab it. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I think was a breakthrough for me when he's talking, it's like, we have all these self-limiting beliefs. We have all these things that we can't change our lives that fast. Things go slowly, or we can't be this way, or I can't be like Dr. Breakthrough, right? You'd be like, and he's so, and he's not, it's been a process for him. Right. And so that's what's really impactful about the 21-day breakthrough challenge. He was a mess. He wasn't who he was today, and he didn't share about his journey to become a 10th degree black belt. But I mean, that's incredible. He's a literally heavyweight champion of the world in point karate sparring. That right there. I mean, to be at that level, I did karate. I was a black belt in karate, nowhere near Dr. Breakthrough or anything like that. It is so competitive. It is so hard. These are the top, speed athletes on the planet. And for him to have that, to accomplish that, I mean, right there, that's like literally world champion, right? Literally top of his class, top athlete in the world. And I really take athletes, athletes very seriously, because there's no uncertainty about it. To be at that level, you have to be the best. And it's literally a competition to see who is the best. And for him to overcome that at age 15, to start that journey at 15 and then become a 10th degree black belt, heavyweight world champion of the world. I mean, who does that? I mean, that's incredible. So
I know
he doesn't talk about that a lot, but I mean, that is incredible.
And I understand that as well. I look at the athletes. I've seen the top tier athletes. I always wanted to talk to their moms, because I know what, like, getting them up to practices and doing all the things. I know, and he did this without all of that support. And you just have to really it's the ones that are up before the sun rises, and they're working on their craft, and they're doing all the extra things. And to have that mindset that does that, and not have, he's unshackled all of these limiting beliefs he has about himself. And what is possible is the world, right? Anything he wants is possible. And he is the living embodiment of that. And he wants to help people feel the same way and do the same things, right? Do their champion stuff, their things that they don't think that they can do, but they can get to. So it's really, he's always that dynamic. Just in case anybody's wondering, that is Dr. Stan. That is Dr. Breakthrough all of the time. He is that intense, motivational, and in every interaction I've had with him, I'm always blown away. He brings it every single time. So the Great Discovery is this amazing platform where you can find things like Dr. Breakthrough's courses, like we have a ton of free courses. So we're inviting you to come check out what we have on the Great Discovery. We'll have links to things. I want to take just a minute to feature this one. So I love that there are different things. And so I wanted to find something that we may not come across anywhere else, but can be found on the Great Discovery. So I'm going to share my screen again. And this is one of my favorites. I just actually sent this to someone. It is called A Taste for Foraging. And it is all about foraging for wild foods and herbal remedies. It's a free class. You can come take it. You can learn all about things that you'll find in the northeastern United States. It's sustainable. I know there's a lot of people that are into the sustainability. So lots of different things. Look at all these. This is a free class.
Wow.
Free. And Amelia South is the creator of this class. I love things like this. Like I wasn't expecting to see this on here, but I'm so glad that I did. There are a lot of amazing courses that you can find. I also did want to remind you, you can take the Breakthrough Daily Attitude Adjuster, another free course. This is from the man himself, Dr. Breakthrough. And it is unbelievable. Like there are so many things in this. It's 3 minutes, but you're going to want to play that every single morning. You can have Dr. Breakthrough getting your day started with a daily attitude adjuster. Alex, I know we're going to wrap things up here pretty quick. But these are this was a few that I wanted to share. I would invite everyone to come out and check out all of the free classes, the paid classes, all of the things. It is on its way to being the #1 e-learning platform in the world. We had Sandra in our group this morning. We do meetings constantly. If you want to learn more, reach out to us. We have a meeting 6 days a week that you can attend. That's just the ones that we do. And then there's a million more every single day. There's always 4 or 5 meetings a day.
Yeah.
To learn, ask questions, find out more why the Great Discovery is so great and what it can do for you. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Alex, before we wrap?
Yeah, I mean, we'll put all the links below to go download some free courses if you want to go check it out. A ton of free courses on there. And for course creators and for people, speakers, coaches, authors, they need your content too. Like Bree said, this is going to be, in my opinion, the largest monetized e-learning platform on the planet. And if you know anything about Six Sigma, you know that this is the company, this is the system to actually do that on a global scale, and then translate your voice in your course, whatever message you have to share on a global scale. That's really the mission. Really awesome to have Dr. Breakthrough as a leader in this and to help us along and to help us with Breakthrough. So special shout out to Dr. Breakthrough. And we'd love to also feature you on this platform, on this podcast. If you are a Great Discovery course creator, if you are an author, a speaker, or a coach, we want to give you a stage to come out and share your message. So you can also contact us below if you're interested in that. But yeah, Brie, I mean, wow, what an incredible podcast today.
I know.
I wanted to do this like more often. I'm like, we got to do podcasts like every day because these are really, really fun.
I know. And there's so many amazing creators that we do want to feature. So please let us know if you're a content creator with courses on the Great Discovery. We want to highlight you and feature you just like we did with Dr. Breakthrough. There are so many amazing courses. It is free to take a class. There are so many free classes, so much information. Check it out. Sign up for one, see how you like it, and let us know in the comments. If you take Dr. Breakthrough's course, let us know in the comments. We want to hear what your breakthroughs are. We'll bring you on. We want to talk about it because it's so incredible. It's so amazing. We're here every single week on Friday morning. We would love to have you join us every week. We are live. Please feel free to drop in, subscribe, and like, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Thanks, Bree.